The Andes, implacable, eternal. For centuries, they have stood silent sentinel over secrets whispered on the wind, secrets of empires built and shattered, secrets of a hunger that drove men to the edge of madness. November 16th, 1532, Cajamarca. Here, in the shadow of the mountains, the Inca Empire, a civilization that had touched the sky, met its brutal end. A handful of Spanish conquistadors, led by the iron fist of Francisco Pizarro, brought an entire people to their knees. 5,000 Inca warriors, unarmed and defenseless, Atahualpa, the god king, captured. The sun had set on the Inca world. But for Pizarro, the conquest was only the beginning. His eyes were fixed on a prize far greater than empire: gold, the legendary riches of the Inca, a treasure that would make kings weep with envy. They plundered temples, melted down sacred artifacts, stripped bare the very soul of a civilization. Mountains of gold, enough to fill the holds of 1,000 ships, flowed back to Spain. But even as they gorged themselves on Inca treasure, a new whisper began to circulate, a fever dream that gripped their hearts. A tale of a city forged not of stone, but of pure gold. A place where the very ruler was bathed in golden dust. A king they called El Dorado, the Golden One. This was no mere legend. They had seen the proof. The Muisca, masters of gold, and a sacred lake high in the Andes, Guatavita. Here they witnessed a ritual beyond imagining. A new chief, naked, coated in gold from head to toe, offering treasures to the depths. Before plunging into the icy water, a living god reborn. This is the story of El Dorado, the most famous treasure that never was.
The Andes Mountains, jagged and imposing, stand as silent witnesses to a pivotal moment in history, November 16th, 1532. On this fateful day, the seemingly invincible Inca Empire, a civilization that had flourished for centuries, crumbled before the might of a small band of Spanish conquistadors. Led by Francisco Pizarro, a man driven by an insatiable hunger for wealth and glory, the Spanish captured Atahualpa, the last Sapa Inca, the emperor believed by his people to be a living god. The ensuing massacre of 5,000 unarmed Incan warriors in Cajamarca was a chilling display of European military superiority and a brutal prelude to the systematic dismantling of an empire. Pizarro, however, was not merely a conqueror, he was a plunderer, his eyes fixated on the legendary riches of the Inca. Gold, in quantities that staggered the European imagination, adorned the temples and palaces of the Inca. As Pedro Cieza de León, a soldier and chronicler of the conquest, wrote in his Crónicas del Perú, "In one of these palaces, there was a garden in which the earth was lumps of fine gold, and it was cunningly planted with stalks of corn that were of gold, stalk, leaves, and ears." This vivid description highlights the sheer abundance of gold that fueled the Spanish frenzy. The systematic looting of the Inca Empire began. Temples were stripped bare, golden artifacts melted down into ingots, and the wealth of a civilization was shipped across the ocean to fill the coffers of the Spanish crown. But even as the Inca gold flowed into Europe, whispers of another, even greater source of riches began to circulate among the conquistadors. These were tales of a city, a kingdom, where gold was not merely a symbol of wealth, but the very fabric of existence. A place where the streets were paved with gold, the buildings constructed from it, and the ruler himself was covered in it. This was the legend of El Dorado, the Golden One. Driven by this intoxicating legend, the conquistadors ventured beyond the conquered Inca territories, pushing deeper into the uncharted heart of South America. They braved treacherous jungles teeming with unknown dangers, navigated the labyrinthine waterways of the Amazon, and scaled the dizzying heights of the Andes, their eyes constantly searching for any sign of the fabled Golden City. They were not merely explorers, they were treasure hunters, fueled by a potent cocktail of greed, ambition, and a near-religious belief in the existence of El Dorado. This belief was further reinforced when they encountered the Muisca, an indigenous civilization that thrived in the highlands of present-day Colombia. The Muisca, unlike the Inca, did not build vast empires or monumental cities. Their power resided not in territorial conquest, but in their mastery of gold work and their complex spiritual beliefs. Spanish chroniclers like Juan de Castellanos were astounded by the Muisca's skill with gold. In his epic poem Elegías de Varones Ilustres de Indias, Castellanos describes their artistry. They are great artificers of gold, and whatever they make is very perfect. They cast it, they make hollow figures, they solder it with great skill, and they make of it whatever they will and whatever is desired of them. The Muisca created intricate gold objects, tuños, votive figures, jewelry, masks, and elaborate pectorals, often depicting animals, deities, and scenes from their mythology. But it was the Muisca's unique ritual at Lake Guatavita that truly cemented the connection between them and the legend of El Dorado. This sacred lake, nestled high in the Andes, was the stage for a ceremony of profound spiritual significance. Gonzalo Fernández de Oviedo y Valdés, in his Historia General y Natural de las Indias, provides a detailed, though perhaps embellished, account. The Indians say that in that lake is a great sum of gold and riches, and that the gold that the cacique, chief, offers is very much. He goes naked, covered only with a paste of fragrant resins, and over this the gold dust is applied from head to foot, as thick as salt is sprinkled on food, and thus arrayed he goes to make his sacrifice. The Spanish, upon hearing these accounts, were captivated. Here, they believed, was the origin of the El Dorado legend. The Golden Man was not a mythical king, but the Muisca leader participating in the Lake Guatavita ceremony. The lake itself, they reasoned, must be a vast repository of gold, accumulated over centuries of ritual offerings. As Juan Rodriguez Fraile, a later chronicler born in Bogotá, wrote in his work El Carnero, this is the ceremony that became the famous El Dorado, which has cost so many lives and fortunes. The conquistadors' logic, though flawed, was understandable. They saw a civilization that used gold in abundance, a ritual that involved casting gold into a lake, and a legend of a golden city. In their minds, these elements coalesced into a single, compelling narrative. El Dorado was not a myth, but a hidden Muisca capital. The ensuing search for El Dorado became one of the most epic and ultimately tragic chapters in the history of the Spanish conquest. Expeditions, often led by ruthless and ambitious men, ventured into the unknown, driven by the tantalizing prospect of unimaginable riches. They found gold, yes, but never in the quantities they envisioned. They encountered indigenous resistance, succumbed to disease, and often turned on each other in their desperation. The legend of El Dorado, however, persisted. It evolved and adapted, taking on new forms and meanings. It became a metaphor for the insatiable human desire for wealth and the destructive power of greed. It also became a symbol of the unknown, the unexplored, and the enduring allure of the mythical. Even today, the name El Dorado evokes a sense of mystery and wonder, a reminder of a time when the world was still full of uncharted territories and the possibility of discovering something truly extraordinary.
But what's fascinating about them is they are supposedly the first high civilization of Central America, that they create structures on a massive scale, that you can see connections between them and the later Maya.
For the Maya, the Milky Way was a particularly important feature of the heavens. They conceived of it as the road that led to their netherworld, Xibalba.
In the verdant lands of Central America, the ancient Maya civilization flourished with a mysterious brilliance that continues to captivate the world. Among the many enigmas they left behind, their profound understanding of astronomy stands as a testament to their intellectual prowess. Graham Hancock, a modern explorer of ancient mysteries, delves deep into this aspect of the Maya, proposing intriguing theories that stretch the bounds of conventional history.
That whole mystery of the Mayan calendar was clearly inherited from the Olmecs. It wasn't something the Maya made up. The Olmecs used that same symbolism. So the Mayan calendar is actually an Olmec calendar.
The Maya long count calendar, a marvel of ancient engineering, intricately tracked a 5,125-year cycle with astonishing precision. This calendar wasn't just a tool for marking time. It was a complex understanding of celestial cycles, intertwining the Mayas' daily lives with the cosmos. Hancock suggests that this precision hints at a deeper, possibly inherited, knowledge of astronomy. Was this sophisticated understanding a legacy from a much older, now lost civilization? When one looks at the grandeur of Maya structures such as the pyramid at Chichen Itza, the brilliance of their astronomical alignment is striking. During the equinoxes, the play of light and shadow on this pyramid creates the illusion of a serpent slithering down its steps. To Hancock, these architectural marvels are not just buildings, but celestial maps, echoing an advanced understanding of the cosmos.
Orion was extensively involved in Mayan rebirth beliefs, which described the constellation and specifically its three belt stars as the turtle of rebirth. In Egypt, as amongst the Maya, the stellar context involves Orion and the Milky Way.
The Mayas' awareness of the ecliptic, the path followed by the sun, moon, and planets across the sky, further fuels Hancock's theories. Their ability to predict solar and lunar eclipses and track the movements of Venus, which they revered as the god Kukulkan, showcases their deep astronomical knowledge. Did they learn this from an older civilization? Hancock wonders. A civilization lost in the depths of time. Hancock theorizes that the Maya might have been part of a vast network of ancient civilizations, sharing knowledge across seas and continents. This global maritime culture, as he envisages, could have been a conduit for transferring advanced astronomical and architectural knowledge to the Maya. The architectural designs of the Maya, seen in their pyramids, temples, and cities, reflect a level of technological and engineering skill that seems almost ahead of their time. Were these skills handed down from a previous, more advanced civilization? The mathematical systems of the Maya, including their use of zero, a concept rare in the ancient world, were integral to their astronomical calculations. Hancock proposes that this mathematical sophistication, too, might be a legacy from a forgotten civilization.
We're not what it's all about at all. That there may have been an earlier civilization that reached a high level of advancement, perhaps different from ours, but nevertheless an advanced civilization, which was just taken out of the story completely by a global cataclysm.
In a tale woven from the threads of ancient mysteries, Graham Hancock, a modern-day seeker of lost truths, presents a fascinating theory. He imagines a world where an advanced civilization, predating the ancient cultures known to history, once thrived. This civilization, possibly flourishing before the last ice age ended around 10,000 BCE, was a beacon of knowledge in fields like astronomy, architecture, and mathematics. Hancock's story tells of a society whose influence stretched far beyond its own time and space, touching various corners of the ancient world, including the enigmatic Maya civilization.
I think, and it's my case, that it wiped our memory of a previous episode of human civilization, that right at the epicenter of this cataclysm was a civilization that we would regard as advanced, not a simple hunter-gatherer civilization, which was utterly wiped out in this cataclysmic event.
However, this ancient global society in Hancock's story faced a dramatic and catastrophic end. He hypothesizes that a cataclysmic event, such as a comet impact or a massive flood, nearly obliterated this civilization. But not all was lost. The survivors, carrying the torch of their advanced knowledge, ventured out into the world. These bearers of ancient wisdom found their way to other, less advanced societies and shared their knowledge, planting the seeds for new civilizations to grow. Among these were the Maya, who, in Hancock's view, may have been one of the many inheritors of this ancient legacy. Hancock points to the Mayas' remarkable architectural and astronomical achievements as evidence of this influence. The precision of their calendar systems, their understanding of celestial cycles, and the alignment of their buildings with astronomical events are, in his narrative, not just the fruits of their own ingenuity, but possibly a heritage from a civilization lost in the mists of time. He draws parallels between the architectural styles, religious beliefs, and astronomical knowledge found across various ancient cultures, suggesting these similarities might be remnants of a shared source of ancient wisdom.
Because we now know that at that time, between 12,800 and 11,600 years ago, truly global cataclysmic events involving rapid rises in sea level did occur, and suddenly the worldwide tradition of a global flood stops being just a myth and starts being a memory.
In a narrative that intertwines the mysteries of ancient seas with the Maya calendar, Graham Hancock, a storyteller of history's hidden chapters, brings to life his theories of a bygone era. He paints a picture of an ancient world, not fragmented by vast oceans, but connected through them. This world, according to Hancock, was home to a sophisticated global maritime culture. This culture, adept in the art of navigation and shipbuilding, embarked on extensive sea voyages, knitting together the far-flung civilizations of the ancient world. Hancock's tale is not just about the movement of ships, but also about the flow of ideas, technologies, and beliefs. He sees the similarities in architectural styles and construction techniques across different ancient cultures as whispers of a shared knowledge, possibly disseminated through this maritime network. In this story, ancient seafarers are the unsung heroes, ferrying not just goods but also the seeds of culture and religion across the world's watery expanse. He draws parallels with the Polynesian navigators, known for their remarkable oceanic voyages, suggesting that similar capabilities could have existed among these ancient maritime cultures.
They're telling us that this lost civilization was submerged in a great flood around 11,600 years before our time. This is why I think we need to pay attention to the Atlantis story rather than just write it off as the ravings of the lunatic fringe.
But Hancock's narrative takes an intriguing turn as he touches upon the mysterious Maya civilization and their long count calendar. This calendar, a sophisticated timekeeping system, tracks a cycle of approximately 5,125 years, culminating in a date that modern calendars align with December 21st, 2012. Hancock, weaving a tale from the threads of time, views this not as an apocalyptic end, but as a significant moment in Maya cosmology, a marker of major transition or transformation. In this story, the 2012 phenomenon is not a tale of doom, but a moment of cosmological significance, possibly indicating a shift in human consciousness or the dawn of a new era in human history. Hancock uses this moment to discuss the broader concept of historical cycles, how ancient civilizations understood and measured time, and their alignment with astronomical events such as the precession of the equinoxes and the galaxy's alignment. Graham Hancock, a modern-day chronicler of lost civilizations, presents a captivating theory. He tells a story of Earth's history punctuated by cataclysmic events, asteroid impacts, massive floods, and volcanic eruptions that have periodically reshaped the course of human civilization. In this tale, these cataclysms are not just natural disasters, but pivotal moments that lead to the rise and fall of civilizations, causing a reset of human progress.
Have you ever imagined stumbling upon a city lost to time, hidden beneath the earth for centuries?
Large cities flourished in the Amazon. Enormous cities.
When you have written documents that have survived, if you can translate those documents, you can begin to get a fair sense of how history was unfolding. It's a very treacherous and dangerous place to be.
Can you just imagine what other mysteries lie in await of human discovery with all the untouched areas of the world?
Explorations and archaeological discoveries in jungle environments have significantly expanded our understanding of ancient civilizations. These lush, often formidable environments have hidden the remnants of societies from the prying eyes of modern civilization until relatively recently. But now, with newer technologies, we are able to look into these jungles without having to venture on foot. The lost city of the monkey god, also known as La Ciudad Blanca or the White City, has been shrouded in mystery and legend for centuries. Tucked away in the dense and nearly impassable jungles of the Mosquitia region in Honduras, this enigmatic city captured the imagination of explorers, historians, and archaeologists who dreamed of uncovering a forgotten civilization. It first came into the limelight with aerial photographs in 1939 suggesting its existence, but it was not until the use of LiDAR technology in 2012 that significant discoveries were made. LiDAR, which stands for Light Detection and Ranging, uses laser light to map the ground below dense forest canopies, revealing hidden structures like plazas, mounds, and an impressive pyramid, which confirmed the presence of a major pre-Columbian settlement. Further explorations on the ground uncovered stone sculptures with Maya-like iconography, intricate terraces likely used for agriculture, and large communal plazas, all suggest
a lot ever since I was a sophomore at Harvard. Something went drastically wrong with these people and with this civilization. This area was abandoned, really, pretty much for hundreds and hundreds, almost 800 years. And center after center, city after city, failed to put up dated stone monuments.
Located in the Petén Basin of Guatemala, Tikal sits in the dense jungles of northern Guatemala and forms part of the Tikal National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This ancient city is one of the largest and most significant archaeological sites of the pre-Columbian Maya civilization.
At that time, Tikal was thought to be the biggest Maya city and stayed that way for a while.
Flourishing between 200 and 900 AD during the classic period of Maya history, Tikal was a major political, economic, and military center. At its peak, the city had an estimated population of between 50,000 and 100,000 people.
These were not empty cities, there were actually thousands upon thousands of people living there.
The discovery of Tikal dates back to 1848 when Ambrosio Tut, the governor of Petén, was informed about the ruins by local indigenous people. These locals had largely abandoned the site due to its remote location in the dense jungle. Recognizing the potential significance of these ruins, Tut organized an expedition to explore the area. The first recorded expedition was led by Modesto Mendez, then governor of Petén, and artist Eusebio Lara. Their objective was to document the ruins and assess their historical significance. Mendez and Lara's expedition brought detailed information about Tikal to the broader world, recording the existence of several large structures and creating initial sketches and descriptions that sparked interest among scholars and explorers.
But you can see, of course, that they're not cities like Teotihuacan, they're certainly not cities like Rome.
In the 1880s, Alfred P. Maudsley, an English archaeologist and explorer known for his work on Maya ruins, visited Tikal several times. Maudsley conducted meticulous studies of the ruins, creating extensive drawings, maps, and photographs. His work provided some of the earliest comprehensive records of Tikal's architectural and artistic features. Maudsley's publications included detailed plans and descriptions of the major structures, as well as photographs of stelae and other carvings. His contributions were instrumental in bringing Tikal to the attention of the international archaeological community, laying the groundwork for future scientific investigations. Significant archaeological excavations were carried out from 1956 to 1970 by the University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology's Tikal project. Initiated by key figures such as Edwin M. Shook and William R. Coe, the project's goals were to conduct systematic archaeological excavations, restore key structures, and study the site's history, architecture, and culture in detail.
First, Edwin Shook and then William Coe started excavating at Tikal.
The excavations unearthed numerous burial tombs, particularly those of the elite and ruling class, often located within or beneath major structures like temples and pyramids. One of the most notable discoveries was the tomb of Jasar Chan Kawil Wand, found beneath Temple 1, also known as the Temple of the Great Jaguar. The tomb contained an array of valuable artifacts, including intricately carved jade masks, jewelry, pottery, and ceremonial items. The jade mask, a hallmark of Maya elite burials, symbolizes the power and divine nature of the ruler. Other royal burials also revealed significant insights. These tombs were often built with vaulted ceilings using the corbel arch technique, which was a significant architectural achievement for the Maya. The stelae and monuments at Tikal serve as historical records, commemorating significant events such as battles and the reigns of kings. These hieroglyphic inscriptions detail the genealogy of rulers, their accomplishments, and their alliances with other city-states.
These are very, very different kinds of cities, and we have to understand them in different ways.
Often accompanied by elaborate carvings of deities, mythical creatures, and symbolic imagery, these texts provide a vivid picture of Tikal's past. Epigraphers have worked painstakingly to decipher Maya glyphs, a complex writing system composed of logograms and syllabic symbols. This challenging work has revealed much about Tikal's political history and its relations with neighboring cities. Through these inscriptions, key figures such as Yikin Chan Kawil and Jaso Chan Kawil have been identified. The texts include detailed accounts of their military campaigns and construction projects. The ability to read these glyphs has allowed researchers to reconstruct a chronological list of Tikal's rulers, their interactions with rival cities like Calakmul, and periods of prosperity and decline. Tikal's history is marked by evidence of extensive warfare, as seen in its defensive structures and weaponry.
This is a period when really we don't know very much about Maya society or civilization at all.
The city was well protected by large earthworks, walls and moats designed to fend off invasions. These fortifications were strategically placed around the city's perimeter and key entry points. A massive defensive ditch, likely filled with water, and an accompanying embankment surrounded much of the core area of Tikal, illustrating the city's preparedness for siege warfare. Archaeologists have uncovered various weapons such as obsidian blades, flint points and spearheads, indicating the martial nature of Tikal's society. The presence of mass-produced weaponry suggests a highly organized military. Some burial sites even include skeletal remains, showing signs of battle injuries, along with grave goods like weapons and armor, hinting at the valorization of warriors in Tikal's culture. Tikal's history includes prolonged conflicts with the rival Maya city-state of Calakmul. These wars were frequently fought over regional dominance and control of trade routes. Hieroglyphic inscriptions document several major battles, including significant defeats and victories that influenced the political landscape of the Maya lowlands. Tikal, in the dense jungles of northern Guatemala, is a marvel of ancient architecture and engineering. One of its most iconic structures is the Temple of the Great Jaguar, or Temple 1, which stands at approximately 47 meters tall. Built around 732 AD to honor Jaso Chan Kawil I, a significant ruler of Tikal, this pyramid also served as his tomb. The temple features a steep staircase leading to a small roof-combed shrine at the summit. The roof comb is intricately decorated with stucco sculptures. The alignment of Temple 1 suggests it was used for astronomical observations, particularly during important solar events. Directly opposite Temple 1 on the western side of the Great Plaza is the Temple of the Masks, or Temple 2. This pyramid, standing at approximately 38 meters tall, was likely built to honor the wife of Jaso Chan Kawil I, though her tomb has not been definitively identified. Temple 2 is known for the large, sculpted masks that adorn its stairways, thought to represent deities or mythological figures. The tallest structure in Tikal is Temple 4, which reaches approximately 70 meters into the sky. Completed around 741 AD during the reign of Yikin Chan Kawil, the son of Jaso Chan Kawil I, this temple offers panoramic views over the jungle canopy, extending to the horizon. This height not only provided a vantage point for observing celestial events, but also symbolized the ruler's connection to the heavens. The roof comb of Temple 4 is particularly elaborate, featuring carvings and stucco work that once depicted scenes of the ruler's power and divinity. The central acropolis at Tikal served as a complex of interconnected structures functioning as royal palaces and administrative buildings. This area includes multiple courtyards, narrow corridors, and stairways connecting various residential and administrative rooms. Equally significant is the North Acropolis, a ceremonial complex featuring numerous pyramids and temples, serving as the main burial ground for Tikal's elite. The North Acropolis is densely packed with temples, shrines, and tombs, each constructed over previous structures in a tradition of continuous building. Tikal is renowned for its stelae and altars, intricately carved with images and hieroglyphic texts. These monuments commemorate significant events and rulers in Tikal's history, often depicting kings and queens, battles, and important dates. The hieroglyphic texts on these stelae have been crucial in understanding the political and social history of Tikal and the broader Maya civilization. Elevated roads, known as causeways or sakbiob, connected different parts of the city, demonstrating advanced urban planning. Constructed with limestone and featuring retaining walls to prevent erosion, these causeways facilitated trade, communication, and movement within the city. Tikal's extensive water management system, including reservoirs and canals, indicate their engineering intelligence. These systems collected and stored rainwater, ensuring a reliable water supply throughout the year, even during dry seasons. The ability to manage water resources effectively supported Tikal's large population and complex urban environment. One intriguing theory is that the layout of Tikal was influenced by celestial events and constellations. Some researchers suggest that the arrangement of temples and pyramids mirrors specific star patterns, aligning with important dates in the Maya calendar. This connection between architecture and astronomy underscores the Mayas' deep knowledge of the cosmos and its integration into their urban planning. Comparing Tikal to the Egyptian pyramids reveals both similarities and differences. Both Tikal's temples and the Egyptian pyramids served as monumental structures as well as possibly tombs for elite individuals. However, while the Egyptian pyramids, such as those at Giza, are primarily solid structures with internal burial chambers, Tikal's pyramids are multifunctional, combining tombs with temple platforms for rituals. Additionally, the intricate hieroglyphic carvings and stelae at Tikal provide a more detailed historical narrative compared to the relatively sparse inscriptions on the Egyptian pyramids.
It's interesting that the patterns are geometrical. Someone made it, and it involved a very large amount of organized labor in order to make it. There had to be the will and the intent in order to do that.
Nestled on the outskirts of Cusco, the once thriving capital of the Inca Empire, lies the enigmatic site of Saqsaywaman. This marvel of ancient engineering has captured the imagination of historians and archaeologists alike, thanks to its remarkable architectural features.
I would prefer to propose, and I have proposed, that what we're looking at is evidence of some kind of transfer of technology, that people came into that area who had other knowledge.
The site, believed to have been a royal estate or a sacred space for Inca leaders, is most famous for its colossal stone walls, forming three-tiered terraces that zigzag across the landscape like the teeth of some giant beast. The sheer size of the stones used, some tipping the scales at a staggering 200 tons, and the precision with which they're fitted together is nothing short of awe-inspiring.
This is a very neglected area of the world, as far as deep and ancient archaeology goes.
The joints between these massive boulders are so meticulously crafted that they leave no space for even a sliver of paper to pass through, showcasing an advanced knowledge of stonemasonry and perhaps an understanding of seismic activities, as these structures have withstood numerous earthquakes over the centuries. While mainstream archaeology attributes these feats to the Incas' sophisticated engineering skills, using simple but effective tools and techniques, Graham Hancock invites us to ponder a more mysterious origin.
A curious mystery that is not unconnected to the genetic mystery.
He speculates that the Inca might have been heirs to a legacy of knowledge and technology from a bygone civilization, now lost to history. This theory suggests that the astonishing precision and durability of Saqsaywaman's walls could be evidence of an advanced pre-Inca society that had mastered construction techniques far beyond what was previously imagined for their time. Hancock's fascination doesn't stop at the construction techniques. He delves into the site's possible acoustic properties and astronomical alignments, suggesting that Saqsaywaman was not just an architectural marvel, but also a center for astronomical observation and sound engineering. These features hint at a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos and sound, further fueling the speculation that the site's creators were far more advanced than we give them credit for. The mystery of Saqsaywaman is deepened by the Incas' lack of a written language, which has led to a significant loss of their oral history following the Spanish conquest. This absence of concrete historical records leaves a gap in our understanding of the site's true purpose and the extent of the Incas' architectural knowledge. Despite these challenges, Saqsaywaman's cultural and historical significance cannot be overstated. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it attracts thousands of tourists each year, serving as a vital link to the past and a testament to the Inca civilization's ingenuity. Now, the story of the Inca Empire, or Tawantinsuyu. This narrative takes us back to the early 13th century, around the region of Cusco in what's now Peru. It's here that the saga begins with Manco Capac, the mythical founder and first emperor believed to be chosen by the sun god Inti himself. From such divine origins, the Inca embarked on an ambitious journey of expansion, blending military might and diplomatic savvy to weave together a tapestry of conquered territories and assimilated cultures. At its zenith, this empire spanned modern-day Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Argentina, Chile, and Colombia, creating the largest empire in pre-Columbian America. But what truly sets the Inca apart are their engineering marvels. Imagine a network of roads over 40,000 kilometers long, connecting the arid coastlines of Peru to the snow-capped Andes, a testament to the Inca's engineering genius. This wasn't just any road system, it was the Capac Ñan, or the Royal Road, a feat of ancient infrastructure that included everything from stone-paved paths to suspension bridges made of woven grass. These pathways were vital arteries of the empire, supported by tambos and storehouses that provided essential supplies to travelers and military expeditions alike. Yet, the Incas' ingenuity didn't stop at roadways. They transformed the steep Andean mountainsides with agricultural terraces, preventing erosion and expanding arable land, all while developing sophisticated irrigation systems to water these terraced fields. Their expertise in water management extended to canals and aqueducts that channeled water from mountain springs to dry areas, ensuring the survival of dense populations. The heart of this empire was Cusco, a city that was not only the political center but also an urban planning marvel. Cusco was divided into sectors that mirrored the four parts of the empire, each sector meticulously planned and organized. And then there's Machu Picchu, the crown jewel of Inca architecture, perched high in the mountains and blending seamlessly with the landscape. This iconic site, with its terraces, temples, and palaces, showcases the Incas' unparalleled skill in stonework, stones so precisely cut and fitted that they've withstood centuries of earthquakes. Now moving back to Graham Hancock, a name synonymous with challenging the traditional narratives of history and archaeology, has long fascinated us with his theories on the ancient world.
Are we looking at the traces of a forgotten episode in human history? I think so. I think that's what's going on here.
He suggests that civilizations like the Inca were not only more technologically advanced, but also more interconnected than we've been led to believe. Let's take a closer look at some of the intriguing ideas Hancock puts forward. First off, consider the Incas' ingenious system of communication. They had these runners known as chasqui, who could sprint across the empire's vast network of roads and trails, passing messages with incredible efficiency. But it wasn't just about legwork. The Inca also used quipus, complex knot patterns on strings that may have been more than mere accounting tools. Hancock muses that these could have carried detailed messages, perhaps even stories across vast distances. He even floats the idea that there might have been even more sophisticated yet undiscovered methods of communication, hinting at a possible global network of ancient knowledge sharing. Then there's the matter of construction techniques. The precision seen in the stonework of sites like Saqsaywaman is staggering. Without mortar, these stones have been cut and fitted together so perfectly that they've withstood earthquakes for centuries. Hancock suggests this might point to lost technologies, far more advanced than what's been historically acknowledged.
Perhaps a decision was made not to use metal. Perhaps a decision was made that errors had taken place, that in reinventing civilization we shouldn't perhaps go down quite the same route as before.
And it's not just about stones and construction. He speculates the Inca had ways to harness natural energies, like geothermal or solar energy, in ways we're yet to fully understand. Hancock doesn't stop there. He observes how the Incas' agricultural practices, from terracing to sophisticated irrigation, showcase a sustainable way of living with the environment, possibly part of a broader, now-lost knowledge of ancient civilizations. This idea of sustainability, coupled with their architectural and engineering feats, paints a picture of a society that was not only advanced but deeply in tune with the natural world. Moreover, Hancock draws parallels between the architectural styles, religious beliefs, and cultural practices across different ancient civilizations. The similarities in megalithic constructions across South America, Egypt, and Asia, the use of psychoactive plants in spiritual rituals, and even practices like cranial deformation and mummification suggest a web of cultural exchange or influence that spans the globe. Graham Hancock, a name often associated with thinking outside of the box. Among his many interests, the Inca Empire stands out for its sophisticated communication networks and astronomical know-how, areas where Hancock's ideas veer sharply from the mainstream narrative. Hancock looks at the Incas' architectural marvels, like the precision-engineered Temple of the Sun at Machu Picchu, and sees a civilization deeply in tune with the cosmos. These buildings weren't just about looking pretty. They aligned with celestial events like the solstices and equinoxes, serving both practical agricultural needs and the ceremonial calendar. It's this star-aligned architecture that leads Hancock to ponder if the Incas' cosmic knowledge was inherited from an even older global civilization, suggesting a world where ancient peoples shared a sophisticated understanding of astronomy long before it was thought possible. Hancock's theories, while met with skepticism from the academic establishment, undeniably add zest to the ongoing dialogue about our ancestors. By proposing that the Inca were part of a technologically advanced and interconnected ancient world, he challenges us to rethink what we thought we knew about the past. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, Hancock's insights into the Inca Empire invite us all to explore the mysteries of ancient civilizations with fresh eyes, reminding us that history is anything but written in stone.
Very little is left of the ancient North American monuments. More than 90% of the structures that were documented in the 19th century are now completely gone. And of the less than 10% that remain, the majority have been vandalized and destroyed.
Discovering the ancient Maya civilization has been like piecing together a giant, fascinating puzzle. Picture this. Back in the 16th century, Spanish explorers led by folks like Hernan Cortés stumbled upon the remnants of a once glorious civilization, with towering cities now reclaimed by the jungle.
Oh, the tragedy of the North American pyramids. There was once more than 1 million of them. Only 100,000 are left now.
Sadly, their initial encounters weren't the most respectful. A lot of Maya history got lost or destroyed, thanks to biases and a general lack of understanding.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
Fast forward to the 19th century, and there's a renewed buzz about the Maya. This time, it's explorers and adventurers trekking through the jungles of Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula, hungry for knowledge about these ancient peoples. Two guys, John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood, became the rock stars of Maya exploration. In the 1830s and 1840s, they journeyed to sites like Copan and Palenque, sketching and writing about their finds. Their work lit up the world's imagination with tales and visuals of the Maya's grand cities and sophisticated culture. By the 20th century, studying the Maya had become a serious scientific endeavor. Archaeologists got down and dirty in the ruins, conducting careful digs and uncovering secrets that the Maya left behind. Big projects at places like Copan and Chichen Itza peeled back layers of mystery, revealing intricate details about how the Maya lived, worshipped, and governed themselves.
If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult.
Discoveries at Tikal and Palenque gave us peeks into royal life, with their elaborate tombs and stunning artwork. Not to mention proof of the Maya's knack for architecture and stargazing. The lost city of El Mirador, hidden for centuries beneath the dense canopy of northern Guatemala's jungle, stands as a monumental witness to the ancient Maya civilization's grandeur and ingenuity. Rediscovered in the late 20th century, this city has profoundly reshaped our understanding of the Maya, pushing back the timeline of their architectural and societal achievements to much earlier than previously recognized. Flourishing from the 6th century BCE, El Mirador was a preeminent city in the Maya world during the pre-classic period, centuries before the rise of the more commonly known classical Maya cities such as Tikal and Palenque. Its scale and complexity are astonishing, with sprawling urban centers, elaborate plazas, and sophisticated water management systems. including reservoirs and canals, that supported a densely populated area at its zenith. The centerpiece of El Mirador is the colossal Didnt pyramid. Towering above the forest, Didnt is not just the largest pyramid in the Maya world, but also one of the most massive ancient structures in the world by volume. The pyramid's base covers an area larger than 9 football fields, and it rises to a height of approximately 230 feet. Constructing Didnt would have required moving millions of cubic meters of earth and stone. A staggering feat given the absence of metal tools, the wheel, or domesticated beasts of burden. This monumental effort underscores the advanced engineering skills and social organization of the Maya, capable of mobilizing and sustaining such a large workforce. El Mirador's discovery also brought to light an extensive network of raised causeways, known as Saqsaywaman, connecting it with other cities and settlements across the region. These causeways facilitated trade, movement, and possibly acted as political and ceremonial pathways, illustrating the city's importance as a regional hub. One of the most intriguing theories about El Mirador, and the pre-classic Maya in general, concerns the reasons for the city's decline and eventual abandonment around the end of the first millennium BCE. Researchers speculate that extensive deforestation and the demands of large-scale agriculture may have led to environmental degradation, reducing the city's ability to support its population. This theory suggests a cautionary tale about the sustainability of human-environment interactions, echoing modern concerns about environmental management and conservation. Comparatively, El Mirador and its monumental architecture can be paralleled with ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom, which was contemporaneously constructing its own colossal structures, including the pyramids of Giza. Both civilizations achieved remarkable architectural feats without the advantages of modern technology, relying instead on a profound understanding of engineering, astronomy, and mathematics. However, whereas Egypt's pyramids served primarily as tombs for pharaohs, Maya pyramids like Didnt were multifunctional, serving as temples and possibly observatories, reflecting the Maya's integrated approach to religion, governance, and science. The decipherment of the Maya script stands as one of the most enthralling detective stories in the history of archaeology and linguistics. For centuries, the intricate hieroglyphs carved into stone monuments, painted on pottery, and written in the few surviving bark paper books remained a locked treasure trove of the ancient Maya civilization's wisdom. The breakthrough in the 20th century, primarily attributed to the insights of Russian linguist Yuri Knorozov, transformed our understanding of the Maya, unveiling a civilization rich in history, culture, and scientific knowledge. The Maya script is a complex system of glyphs which had stumped scholars for years. Early attempts at decipherment were hampered by the assumption that the script was purely ideographic, representing ideas rather than sounds, much like the Egyptian hieroglyphs before their decipherment. This led to numerous speculative and often incorrect interpretations of Maya texts. The turning point came in the 1950s with Yuri Knorozov. He proposed that the glyphs were not only logographic, but also phonetic, representing sounds. Knorozov's insight was based on the use of the Landa alphabet, a set of glyphs recorded by Spanish Bishop Diego de Landa, which had been dismissed by many as inaccurate. Knorozov suggested that these glyphs could represent phonetic sounds as well as logographic symbols. This approach opened the door to reading the Maya script as a fully functional writing system that included phonetic elements. Knorozov's work sparked a new wave of interest and research, leading to a collaborative international effort to crack the Maya code. Scholars such as David Kelly, Tatiana Proskuryakov, and later Linda Scheller and David Stewart, among others, made significant contributions. Proskuryakov, in particular, was instrumental in demonstrating that many inscriptions were historical records of Maya rulers and their deeds, rather than purely mythological texts as previously thought. This shifted the direction of Maya epigraphy towards historical reconstruction. One fascinating theory that has emerged from the study of Maya texts is the advanced nature of Maya astronomy and mathematics. The decipherment of the Dresden Codex, one of the surviving Maya books, revealed complex tables for predicting lunar and solar eclipses, the movements of the planet Venus, and the cycles of the Maya calendar. At the heart of their astronomical studies was the observatory at Chichen Itza, known as the Caracol. This structure, with its distinctive round dome and strategically placed openings, served as a window to the heavens, allowing Maya astronomers to accurately track the movements of Venus, the Sun, and other significant celestial entities. The precise alignment of the Caracol's windows with these celestial bodies' appearances and disappearances throughout the year underscores the Mayas' advanced architectural skills and their capacity to harmonize their construction efforts with their extensive knowledge of astronomy. This integration of astronomy into various aspects of Maya life highlights a civilization that valued the stars not merely as subjects of curiosity, but as essential guides for earthly endeavors. The Mayas' legacy in astronomy, evidenced by their codices, observatories, and calendars, offers a glimpse into a society that found harmony in the cosmic order and sought to align its terrestrial activities with the celestial rhythm. It's a tale not too dissimilar to the story of the Rosetta Stone and the Egyptian hieroglyphs, but with a twist. You see, the Rosetta Stone was like getting the cheat codes to understand Egyptian hieroglyphs because it had translations right there. But with the Maya, there wasn't a neat bilingual text lying around. Instead, figuring out what those intricate carvings and paintings meant required a mix of smart guessing, deep cultural dives, and a bit of detective work in understanding the symbols not just as pictures, but as a complex blend of sounds and meanings. Now imagine trying to understand a writing system that's not only about what things are, but also how they sound. And that's what the Maya script is all about. It's this incredible collection of over 800 different glyphs, making it one of the showiest, most elaborate scripts you could lay your eyes on. And the coolest part, we're still unlocking the secrets of this ancient script. The Maya script's ongoing decipherment is a reminder that history isn't just about looking back. It's a story that keeps evolving as we learn more.